Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a little blob man for our games. So I'm going to be using Photoshop for this, but you could easily use Illustrator. So the first thing we want to do is create new. And then we want the res to be 1000 width by 1000 height and then 72 resolution. This is so that if we need to scale down, we can, but if we don't, we can keep to quite a good quality. So click create. And then the first thing I want to do is I want to create a circle shape. So we do that by clicking shift so that we don't lose our shape. If I click off a shift, you'll see what happens. You won't get a proper size circle. Okay, there we go. I've spammed the sticky keys. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to change the shape to color. So we do that in this section, the properties section. So I want a nice kind of lightish orange. Actually, no, I'm going to go for this darker orange. Then what I want to do is I want to rasterize that layer, which just flattens the layer. And then we're going to change the shape up a little bit. So transform and warp. So once we've warped our shape, we want to warp it a little bit this side and a little bit that side, just so we get this kind of blobbish look. Okay, so then the first thing I want to do is I want to go into the kind of layer style section. So you do that by just clicking, cancel that a second, you just double click on the side of the layer. Okay, so I think we need kind of like an inner shadow. So if we look at what angle it comes to, we can see that's changing it a little bit. You want to kind of add a little bit of distance. So I want it to be about there. Obviously, I don't want it to be that aggressive, so I'm just going to bring it to about here. So we click OK, and then I'm quite happy with that. So now what I want to do is I want to create a folder, call that body. Ooh. And then just pop our layer into there so that we can hide it if we need to. And I'm just going to get rid of this background because we don't need it. Okay, so the next thing we need to make is an eye. So we only need to make one eye because we can duplicate it. So I want to make an eye shape and go for a nice white. And then all we're doing is using the circle tool to make the second part of the eye, and we're going to use a similar colour to what we had before with the skin, and then another one for the black of the eye or red, whatever colour you want to use. I'm going to use black, and then all I want to do is one more just to give it kind of like a glint in the eye, and I'm just going to use the same white as what we used here. You could do that by clicking the pipette. Okay, so that'll load, and then we've got quite a nice looking eye there. So then what I want to do is I want to take the bottom layer, which is this layer. I want to duplicate that by right clicking, clicking duplicate layer. I then want to drag this up to the top, and then we'll see that we've got it like that. And then what I want to do is use a darker colour like this, rasterize that shape so it flattens it, and then we grab the rectangular tool and click delete. Okay, so now we've got quite a nice looking eye. So now all we want to do is pop all of these in one folder and call it right eye. And it's the character's right eye because it's facing you, whereas the other way around would be the left eye. Okay, so then what we want to do is duplicate it, call it left eye, and then click Control and T, and then drag it across and make sure it's central. Okay, so now we've got that. What we need is a mouth, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't think we need to for this tutorial. So just call it mouth, drop the ellipses into that folder, and then all we'll do the same as last time is we'll just add a little bit of shadow. So we go to the inner shadow, and then we'll just remove it a little bit. Click OK. And there we go. So we've got a nice start for our character. This character we want to be able to animate, so we'll show you that next time.